Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back, I'm not going anywhere. We're YouTube famous now. I'm YouTube famous now. I'm YouTube famous now. Can I have a kiss? Aw, PP's not very happy with me because I went to the casino last night and I didn't take him with me. He said, Daddy, I just love to pull those slots. So I said, PP, which one's your favorite? He said, those dollar wheel of fortunes, but they go real fast and they don't pay in bones. Anyway, so I was sitting, okay, listen, okay? Before we get real heavy into this video, should I start over? Hey, you guys, it's Peter and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm YouTube famous now. That's gonna play a role later in this. And since you're coming to this channel probably because you want to see this exposed video about Jeffree Star. It's really a story time, so just get ready, okay? And it really, well, see, the story is this, okay? For all of you haters out there that will come here and go, don't talk about Jeffree that way. I'm not talking about Jeffree that way, okay? So hit it, sister. All right, so here's what happened. Late last night, my good Judy Lori, okay, Lori Ann, she texted me and she said, are you thinking about going to the boat? Now, the boat, if you don't know, is the casino, okay? Because back in the day in the Midwest in Indiana, all the casinos had to sit on water, and some of them, like Rising Sun in southern Indiana, actually were like old riverboats, and you get on them, and you have like, you can only get off at like 10, 12, 2, you get it, right? Okay. So, but everybody that used to go back in the day like me and my good Judy Lori and all these other people, they still call it the boat. We all still call it the boat, right? So she's texting me and I'm with my friend Tanya up in the mire and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, and like Tanya, she does not love me going to the casino all the time. So I was like, oh, here I am. And Lori's calling me and I'm like, I want to go to the casino. I haven't been. Well, I went last weekend, but I did real well. So anyway, but before that, I hadn't been in like 3 weeks. So I was like, I kind of want to go to the casino. I have the money to go, whatever, right? You know how it is. If you go to the casino, you know what I'm talking about, all right? If you don't, then just sit still. You'll enjoy the story. Just trust me, okay? So anyway, I texted Lauren and I said, yes, I think I'm going to go. And she goes, I think I'm going to go too. And I said, well, when are you going to go? And she said, probably midnight. And I said, okay, me too. So Tanya and I go walk around. I went and I bought all my candle waxes. I'm real into those candle waxes now. Did you guys get those candle waxes? I am so done with candles. Like, I either love really like big bougie candles like those that you get at Anthropologie, but I'm done with the rest of the candles, okay? And the Yankee candles, I can't do those. I think that they just, all of them belong in a Cracker Barrel. So anyway, I mean, and that's where I used to get them from, was the Cracker Barrel. Have you ever been to an outlet store, one of those, have you ever been in the holy grail of Yankee candles, which is like in an outlet store and you walk in and there's like 9 million candles? You're like, I just wanted a peach Bellini. Okay, I mean, it's too much, right? I can't do it. So anyway, I was, got my candle waxes because I love those and they make my house smell nice and all that kind of stuff. And I got a magazine because I was going to do a magazine video today, but I have to wait. So anyway, I dropped Tanya off, and then she's like, you're going to the casino, aren't you? And I go, well, I think so. So anyway, I drove up to the casino, through all the construction, the thunderstorms and everything, okay? It was a complete mess. I was not happy about it. So I get up to the casino. Now listen, okay? I play at Hoosier Park in Anderson. If you ever want to see me, you can come up there. I'm there 5 nights a week. Okay, no, that's not the truth. But that is probably a good place to find me, or the library, or the half-price books, or just driving around Indianapolis. Hi, how are you? I'm kind of like a parade that never stops. But anyway, so I was driving up there last night. I was like, God, I really don't want to go. Should I go? Whatever. I know Lori's there, so it'll be so much fun, and we'll just sit there and chat. So anyway, I go up into the casino. And when I come up, I go, there's one aisle, but machines on either side, okay? And I play the old lady machines. And what I mean by the old lady machines is that these are the old machines, okay? They're the 2-quarter max, and they're called like butterflies or blazing sevens or triple stars and stripes. If you play them, you know what I'm talking about, okay? Or triple diamonds, double diamonds, triple double. Okay, these are what we call them, right? And there's casino lingo. If you don't go to the casino, you don't know the lingo, right? Like if you get 80 credits, which is $20, you don't call that 80 credits, you call that a 20, okay? It's like bingo is the same way. Wait till I do my bingo rant, okay? Because I love a good bingo game, okay? Cover all $50. Anyway, so So I go, okay, when I go down, the aisle sits on the same aisle as the pop machine, okay? Now I'm gonna talk about the pop machine in just a second. So I always kind of like don't try to look over there because I want to be surprised at who's sitting at the machines. And I'm always like, oh, please don't let anybody be sitting at Butterflies because Butterflies is hands down my favorite machine. It's so pretty. Yellows and greens and purple. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But so I always like try not to like let myself be surprised. I'm like totally telling on myself. This is truly like a lead in a Gamblers Anonymous meeting or something. Well, and I like to be surprised with the machine that I'm going to play. So anyway, I'm going down the aisle, and so like I turn and I get my pop, right? We call it pop in Indiana, okay? Soda, Coke, whatever, right? And here is my coffee cup. Do you see the size of my coffee cup next to my head? Good head. Anyway, fountain pops at the casino are about that big, right? Okay, so let's say if you go in there and you spend $200 and you lose it all, you've just bought the most expensive Coke in the world, a $200 Coke. We all call it that. It's real funny and cute, isn't it? That's the clickbait title. Okay, or below. But it's the truth. And like my friend Carla, she wears these sunglasses up in there and all this kind of stuff. She's sexy down. Anyway, her husband's always sitting there and she's always like, Dwayne, give me some coffee. So he goes and he gets her some coffee and then she comes back and she is the sexiest slot player I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, she comes in leather booted and everything head to toe. She is so sexy. And she'll sit there and she'll start drinking her coffee and Dwayne will go, yep, that's the most expensive cup of coffee in town. Carla and I just laugh and laugh and laugh. But anyway, this is what you do in Indiana, okay? It's not bougie, it's not fancy and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I love the casino. I love it. I'm not even gonna lie about it. So I come around the corner. Now I gotta come up with a name for this one because I do know now because the story's about YouTube. Even though, well, we'll get to that in just a second. So I come around the corner and I look down there and we'll call her, what's a good name for her? Misty. I used to know this Misty back in the day, Misty Weems. She had white blonde hair. This was like in elementary school, like in 3rd grade. I always ask my friend Heather, I'm always like, do you remember Misty Weems? Whatever happened to her? She had the most perfect blonde white hair, but it was like white blonde, right? Like here, let me just show you. Like see that? Like the color of my lights? Like it was like that, what? And it just like Farrah Fawcetted back. If I was born in 72, we were probably 6 or 8 at the time. So that would have been what, 78, 70, totally would have been Farrah Fawcett. Misty Weems, where are you? Anyway, we'll call her Misty because I always think of like girls that wear horse shirts at the state fair. Like, did you ever read that book, Misty of Chautauqua Valley? I didn't really care for those horse books when I was growing up. I liked more of like the adventure kind of books and the choose your own adventure and all that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But do you remember Misty of Chautauqua Valley? Every time I go to the state fair and I see the girls that have like the halter tops on, that has like a horse and it says like Desiree on it and then it's got the fringe on the bottom. Do you know what I'm talking about? The fringe that they just cut the t-shirt apart? Okay, that's what this woman reminds me of. Except she's real religious. So, hey baby, praise. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Bless you. So, I go and I sit down and she's the only one playing and she's playing at Stars and Stripes. And I go, so I come up, right? I'm like, hey, Misty, how are you? Now, I know her real name, and I called her by her real name, right? She's like, oh, Patrick, I can't win a damn thing. Now, I have told this fool 500 times what my name is, okay? Every time she calls me Patrick, I say, sweetie, it's not Patrick, it's Peter. Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, Patrick. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, she just don't want to remember my name. She's like, this is like a low-grade diss is what it is, okay? So I go and I sit down at Butterflies. She goes, you might not want to play that game. She goes, some woman just sat there and she hit 2 360s and a 675. I was like, well, there's no other machines to play, so what am I supposed to do? So I put my money in, and she's like, now we call her the prayer cloth lady, okay? Because she's got these handkerchiefs that are prayer cloths. They have prayers written on them, okay? But the prayers are so worn off that you can't even see the prayers anymore. Why? Because she constantly is wiping her machine with this prayer cloth, right? She believes that if you wipe the slot machine with a prayer cloth, that God will bless the prayer. I swear to God she believes this, okay? When I first saw it, I said, Lori, I go, why does Misty, I can't remember her fake name. Why does Misty rub that slot machine? And she's like, honey, it's a prayer cloth. It's not a Kleenex. She thinks it's like doing juju under the machine. I was like, well, whatever. So anyway, I'm sitting there and she's like, she keeps on like cleaning it and then hitting it, cleaning it and then hitting it. And I go, Misty, what's wrong? She goes, now listen, okay, listen. When I first met Misty, I'm going to say this in a very nice way. When I first met Misty, I would have guessed her, being nice at 65, okay? I found out we're the same age. So anyway, Life has not been kind to Misty. Let's just put it that way. She said, my husband gave me $100 and I came up in here and I was playing this machine and I lost 40. And then I went down there and I was playing the 3/4 machine double diamonds. But I was only putting one in and I got it up to 225 and I thought, well, I'm gonna come back here because you know triple stars and stripes is my favorite machine. And then I sat down here. I put $140 in this machine. It hasn't even given me one solid color yet. Not one solid color yet, and nothing with a triple. I said, well, my Lord, Misty, I said, but why don't you just move to the other side? I play the other side. There's not anything over there that's working either. So I'm like, okay, she's had, listen. And code, you don't mess with, like, you don't tell somebody, like, okay, you're an idiot to put too much money in that machine, okay? You just let them do their thing, right? You don't say anything. And I will say this for old Misty. If she's sitting next to you and she's put $9,000 into a machine and you sit right down in the first spin, you hit 1,000, she is all about congratulating you for it too, right? And also asking for maybe a 20 or a 40. But anyway, and never wanting to pay you back. So we sit there and then she hits like a 20 and all this kind of stuff. $20, not 20 credits, get it? But I was doing okay. I was hitting like, I bought $100 and I hit like a 60, a 20. I hope Lori's not watching this. She'll be like, well, I should have shown up. Oh, that's the other thing. My good Judy never showed up. I said to her, I said to Misty, I said, now have you seen Lori? She goes, Lori Ann, you mean Lori? And there's only one Lori that we know. I said, yes. She goes, no, I've seen Lori Ann, and I saw her last Saturday. I think she was here with her husband. Was that last Saturday? I don't know. I've been here 3 nights this week already. My husband, he keeps on giving me money, but I spent $600 at Sam's Club. Okay, this is where it gets into the story. I said, you spent $600 at Sam's Club. She goes, oh, yeah, my son's graduating next week. I go from high school. She goes, oh, I didn't think he'd make it. I said, you didn't? She goes, he had a real bad second grade teacher. What the fuck? I was like, I go, okay. I go, well, what do you think that he's going to do with his life? And she goes, I don't know. She goes, he's going to go move out, work in a factory or something. She goes, but listen, she goes, I got $600 worth of food up at the Sam's Club. Now, I do not know this gal, okay? Like, this is so nice, I mean, that she invited me, but I do not know her, okay? I only know her from the casino, and I call her the prayer cloth lady. I rarely, if I talk to my friend Lori, I call her the prayer cloth lady. I don't ever call her by Misty, her name, which is her fake name, not a real name, right? So I said, she goes, you should come by, we're having pulled pork. Now, there are a few words in this world that I cannot stand, okay? Moist, juicy, meaty, and pulled pork. And I do not like the idea of it, and don't ever invite me to an event where there is one, okay? Because to me, pulled pork equals, I don't know, but I won't say it on this channel because it's not very nice. So she goes, we're having pulled pork and Jello salad. No, she didn't say Jello salad, but that would have been priceless if she had. Oh my God. Oh, my relatives on my dad's side always make 15 kinds of Jello salad. It just grosses me out. And then somehow they always throw in those Chinese noodles. But anyway, oh no, maybe those are those butterscotch cookies, but I don't like those either. So she goes, well, he kind of went. And then she goes, hey, we're sitting there talking about what her son's going to do. And she goes, could I ask you for some help? And I said, well, sure, what? And she goes, my son's real interested in making videos like you do. And I thought, how the fuck does she know what I do? And I go, what are you talking about? Are you ready for this? This is where the joke turns into the truth, and you really don't want it to, okay? I'm sipping my most expensive Coke in the world at this point, which is now down at, like, what kills me too is when people do this. They go, and they tap the ice in this little cup because there's like one sliver of ice. Go get another Coke! My God, go get another Coke! It's right there, it's free! Get 5 of them, get 20 of them! Oh. But anyway, this is where the joke turns into the truth. She goes, could you help me? She goes, now my son, she's like, he's a little bit different. I go, what do you mean he's a little bit different? She goes, he likes to wear makeup. And I go, well, there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that? She goes, why do you wouldn't care? Boogered, right? Just called out. She goes, but Lori Ann, she goes, she told me that you were a famous YouTuber. And she goes, I love that YouTube. She goes, I love that Jeffree Star. She said it just like that. Now it's starting to sound like Earl, but it's not Earl, okay? But she does have a southern accent. But anyway, she goes, she turns to me, literally stops playing her machine and everything, and she turns full, and she goes, I love that Jeffree Star, just like that, right? I go, okay. And she goes, my son loves Jeffree Star too. And I'm like, okay. I don't know where this is going, right? And she goes, Lori told me you were a famous YouTuber. I go, no. I go, I make videos. I go, but I'm not famous by any means. And because, like, it's a joke, right? And she goes, oh, come on now. Lori told me you were real famous on that YouTube. And I go, okay. She goes, It'd be a real nice graduation present if you set my son up with that Jeffree Star so he could meet him. What the fuck? I go, Misty, I don't know Jeffree Star. Oh, come on, I know you know Jeffree Star. I go, no, for real, I don't know Jeffree Star, right? So she like turns and now she's pissed at me, okay? Because I can't set her something. And she was like, I don't know how she said it, but she didn't say set him up. She's like, do you think Jeffree would like teach him how to do makeup? And so we're sitting there playing, and I swear to God, the next 45 minutes is all about Jeffree Star. Now it's her and her son, right? I have never seen in my entire life a stitch of makeup on this woman. I have probably seen her 100 times in the last year, okay? I'm not telling on myself, but I'll try to go to the casino. I see her all over the place. No, I don't. I've never seen a stitch of makeup on her, okay? Jeffree, this is your clientele right here. She goes, we bought all his lipsticks. We just love his makeup line so much. And I go, she didn't say so much, but anyway, she goes, we just love his makeup line. And I go, oh, okay. And so she's playing and she's all this kind of stuff, right? Just pulling on cigarettes left and right? The cheapest cigarettes you've ever seen, 100s. So anyway, she's sitting there and she's like, now, she's asking me all these questions, you know? Don't you think Jeffree and Nathan are so nice together? What were they like when you met him? I was like, I don't know Jeffree, Misty. I don't know him. She's like, well, is he really that nice in person? Have you been to his house? Was his house like, Misty, I don't know Jeffree. Misty, I don't know Jeffree. She goes on. This goes on literally for 45 minutes, right? Okay, I am losing, and I am having no fun at the same time, and I am so pissed and so bitter. And she says something, Jeffree, and she hits the thing. And it goes triple, $1,000. She goes, and I go, I don't know, Jeffree! I was so pissed. I was like, she's ruined my night. She hit $1,000 and she wants me to hook her kid up so that her son can be the next booty guru. I'm like, oh my God, my life. Get me out of this casino now. But I didn't. I stayed very, very calm, and I just sat there, and I said, now, I have loaned this woman so much money, you have no idea, right? And she knows I'm down to my last 20. And I go, good job, Misty. And she goes, thanks so much. I'm going to leave. I'm going to get out of here. She prints out her ticket, and she gets up, and she starts walking away, and she turns around, and she goes, tell Jeffree I said hi. So I say it. But it's not the truth, and I don't know all these YouTubers, so stop asking me. People ask me all the time. Oh my God, when I first started this thing and I did a video about Joey Graceffa and how hot I thought he and Daniel Prado were, which, by the way, the Shane Dawson and Ryland drunk boyfriend tag video is so cute. It's like my favorite video right now. But when I did that, this girl, she asked me, she like kept on sending all these direct messages to me about Joey and asking me all these personal questions about Joey, and I'm like, every time I was like, I don't know Joey, and so she wanted me to like say something to him. And finally she goes, could you please, and she was like, could you please tell Joey this? And I said, sweetie, I said, I'm trying to be as nice as I can. I do not know Joey Graceffa. I have never met Joey Graceffa. He doesn't know who I am. And she blocked me on Twitter. So anyway, there's the story of the casino, Jeffree Star, and the world's most expensive cup of coffee and Coke in the world. So anyway, that's my little story time for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah. I'm gonna go get a real coffee from Starbucks now instead of this Keurig stuff. I love you guys. Follow me on all my social media. It's listed below, and I will talk to you later. Bye.